Getting hold of a big, fast and very powerful bike these days isn't that tricky. Showrooms are full of things that make 150 or even 160 horsepower at the tyre. But I know a few of you out there who think 160 horsepower is nowhere near enough. And luckily for you, today I'm going to meet a guy who makes bikes make much, much more power than that. This is where I'm going to pick up one of those big horsepower brute things. We're at the home of TTS Performance in Northampton, and Big Chief Richard Albans says he's got something pretty special for me to try out. With lots of power. So what you got for us to test then, Rich?
Nice gsx1400 with 200 horsepower.
200? Yeah, you did hear right. 200. That is a bog standard bike. Well, I don't see a difference. Where's the difference?
Well, let's come round this side and have a look.
Oh.
It's a Rotrex C15 Supercharger. It makes an extra 90 horsepower.
Bloody hell. Is it best that some expert like yourself does it rather than a chap at home, or could he do it?
If you can change your wheel, I think you could fit it.
Oh, so it's that easy then?
Yeah.
And the cost?
Fitted, ride-in, ride-out price is £4,000, and if you wanted to do it yourself, then you're looking at about £3,000.
So, I mean, what sort of speed are we looking at then?
I think it's as fast as you can hang on. It's got to be good for 180 mile an hour.
Bloody hell. The GSX has about 25% more power than your average top-notch superbike, and it's only around 40 brakes shy of a MotoGP racer.
I mean, the power is just retarded, man. This TTS Supercharged gsx1400 is, well, to put it mildly, a bit of a bloke's bike.
The engine's an absolute belter. I mean, 200 horsepower speaks for itself. It's just got so much power and torque. This thing could just pull trees up, man, you know? You could hook a trailer to it and do haulage on the thing. As soon as you start getting on the gas a bit and letting it rip, this thing just flies, man. Once top selected, that's pretty much all you need. It's just got stomp everywhere. You can get up to shocking speeds in an absolute jiff, you know?
Given the fact that the setup on this bike only cost about £4,000 for a ride-in, ride-out service, performance per pound is massively impressive. I mean, this thing would just smoke anything. Now, that's the first worry. Brakes, just not up to the job, to be quite honest. They're alright, but I mean, you need more than alright when you've got a 200 horsepower motor.
The brakes aren't particularly strong. They're certainly not good enough to deal with, I don't know, must be in the region of 300 kilos by the time I've got my fat arse on the thing. Similarly, the suspension. You feel as though you're on a bouncing castle rather than a motorbike. It just feels like a 70s superbike. I mean, back in those days, they went fast until you showed them a corner.
Well, this thing does 0 to 60s in round about 2 seconds, I reckon. It just can't go around corners. It's totally unbalanced, really.
The chassis is rubbish. When it's challenged by that much power, it just isn't good enough. And I mean, it becomes a bit of a lottery as to whether you're going to get round any of the corners.
Both the forks and the shop, they can't cope. Ally that to very slow steering, which feels as though the front wheel's in a vat of treacle or something every time you want to change direction. It's just a bike for absolute loonies, this thing.
It's massively flawed in certain areas, yet perversely, that, to me at least, makes it really satisfying to ride. I like the noise it makes, I like the brutal horsepower. I'm getting a bit sick of today's superbikes. They're too polished, they're too perfect, they're a bit too forgettable. Any ride on this thing is etched upon your mind for months afterwards.
Because you have to really work hard on this thing, and because every single corner's a challenge, it's much more satisfying. I like this motorbike, man. It's a proper Brooks bike, mate.
I think this is probably one of, if not the maddest, baddest motorbike I've ever ridden. It's an absolute crazy horse, this thing, man. I'd like to refine it a bit, you know, and just make it a bit more capable, but as it is, I really, really love this bike because certain parts of it are so damn bad.
It's made an old man very happy.